And then here I want to give y'all a quick rundown of all the programmers that I carry with me on a daily basis. This is my Xhorse K2 Plus. Very powerful programmer. I really don't use it for key programming. I use it more for generating universal keys, testing transponders, testing frequencies, remote signals, and then anything European that I do, I'll use this. If I do any Mercedes-Benz, this is the go-to programmer for me. But again, not my first go-to for it's just your normal everyday key programming. This is essentially the same thing. It's a smaller version. This is the Xhorse K2 Max. This is the Pro version. It is plug-in, whereas the non-Pro version has a little dongle you could plug in. And it does most of the features that the K2 Plus does. It's just a lot more smaller. It's easier to get in. It does not do Mercedes keys, and I think it does limited BMW stuff. But one of the best features is this: is it has the built-in antenna. So if you want to use it as a key emulator or a remote emulator, if you want to sniff ignition coils, this is a lot easier than going in and doing it with the K2 Plus. Now this is the K2 Mini. Did I say everyone should have one? You can usually catch them for about $85 on sale. This does not program any keys to the vehicle, but it will generate universal remotes. It will generate smart keys. If you use the proper cable, you can renew some OEM remotes with it. And again, I use it for frequency testing, transponder testing, cloning, testing ignition coils and whatnot. All three are very important, and I have them. This is my Lonsdor K518 Pro. This is the full version. It came with all the cables. I use this mainly for newer Toyota smart keys, especially when using the Lonsdor Universal LT series keys. This is the program I use, backing up emo data and generating, third-party rolling codes. This is an awesome machine for just that purpose. Now down here I have my Autel IM508. This is the 508S. It's the newer version. I like it a lot. It does everything I need it to do. For the most part, my go-to programmer is usually between the IM508 and the KM100, and I'll get a little bit more into that, the differences between the two. As far as the mobilizer functions, they're essentially the same. However, the KM100 does not accept the XP400, which you would need to do Mercedes-Benz keys on the IM508, and it does a lot more EEPROM stuff. And then this also has built-in diagnostics, so if you run into a vehicle that has some issues with it, you can use this to go ahead and diagnose what's wrong and try to get it repaired. Now the KM100 would be my 100% go-to. There has been a lot of features that have been removed recently from both of them. I haven't updated these, so I still can do Ford. I could still do Toyota All Keys Lost. Sometimes when I'm doing GM cars and I go to pull the PIN number, it tells me that there's no network available. I'm sure there's a simple fix for that. I haven't looked into it, and I don't think they've removed anything on the GM side. Again, so I use this again on a lot of Toyota smart keys. Like if I'm doing, for instance, a 2019 RAV4 and it's add a key, and I don't have to set up a Lonsdor Universal key or anything, I will use this. I'll back up the emo data, and that will generate the third-party code, so I don't have to pay for a code. Or if I need to use as an emulator, that antenna also works as an emulator, whereas with the IM508, I would have to pay additional and buy the APB 119 to be able to do emulation. So again, very powerful programmer. Everybody should have one of these, no matter what anybody's saying online. People will tell you it's useless and this and that, blah, blah, blah. I use mine. If you do have an updated one and the features have been removed, reach out to Bob Keel. He runs that Toyota Rolling Codes website. I'm not sure what his email address or his contact, but he knows how to roll them back and get those features back. So up here is my Auto Propad. It's the Auto Propad Basic. This is currently out of subscription and it's no longer supported by Auto Propad. I brought this unit to replace the Auto Propad Lite that I had in my previous video of my old backup programmers that are in my garage, and this one is now obsolete like that one. So if I want to upgrade, I would have to buy one of the cores or one of the newer models that Auto Propad has. I use this mainly when I'm doing Hondas. For some reason, it's just a lot faster than Autel, but for most cars, I like the layout in Autel. I'm used to it. It works better for me, but very capable machine. It will do a lot of key programming. All right, so this was recently released. It's the CGDI A2. It's your basic level key programmer. It's not going to do anything special, and it's real new, so it's still missing some features. There's constant updates, but as of right now, like, I can't do any Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler with this because it's not even an option in the menu. Hopefully they get that figured out and get that in there soon, and you know, make this a decent program. As of right now, I really wouldn't recommend anybody this programmer. You know, not saying that it's bad, it's just not really ready for the market to go out there and be a dedicated key programmer. So here we have the old faithful CK100. I haven't personally used this one for anything I haven't needed, but sometimes you run into things like with older Fords and stuff where none of your better programmers will program them. You'll come to find out things like these older programmers are amazing for stuff like that. So it's, you know, it's a good program to keep for backup. You can usually catch this online for about $125 new. It's worth to have it, just to have it. And this is very similar to that, but this is the OBD Star version. When I first wanted to get started, I had reached out to a friend of mine that I knew who was an automotive locksmith, and he told me to buy this. He said some cars you just run into, just like the CK100, where none of the programmers will program it, and you need something like this to program them. Again, something I never used, and then eventually it looks like something got spilled on the casing where it's disintegrating. So, you know, just be careful. It might have got some oil or something on it, but same thing happened with my HB Tuners MVP1. Something got on it, and the whole case just disintegrated. So be real careful with that. Up here, this is my AutoFix EvoScan Ultra. If anyone knows anything about AutoFix, they are entangled with Autel, so when you power it up and you go through the menus and everything, you'll say, oh my god, this is exactly like an Autel. And if you send a diagnostic report or anything, it's actually on Autel letterhead. Same pants, different pockets. All right, it is what it is. And if you look at the J-Box that came with the EvoScan Ultra, you'll say, oh my god, that's exactly like my Autel J-Box, the newer J-Boxes. You know, everybody who's doing automotive locksmith should have a really good J2534 box. There are going to be times where you have to use OEM software, and a lot of times you're going to need a decent quality J2534. So I have that one that came with the AutoFix EvoScan Ultra, and I also have this Topdon here. This is the Topdon R-Link, and it's a J2534. It has a lot of features. It's a powerful unit, so definitely if I need to do something, and you know, if that's busy, this is my backup. And last but not least is my Topdon T-Ninja Pro. I accidentally, unfortunately, lost the dongle to this one. I'm probably not going to be buying another one, and as of right now, it's just a paperweight. But this machine has saved me a couple of times. You know, I have some videos there where I was doing some Fords where it would take forever to program with the other programmers, but for this one, for whatever reason, it would go right through. So this was real good on Fords. I really didn't get too deep into it to find out what else it does excellent or better than the other programmers before I ended up losing the dongle. I got this one on a deal, on sale. You know, it's one of those discount deals online. Whereas what I paid for it, it would cost me essentially the same amount to buy the dongle to replace it. And then this one is currently out of subscription, so I would have to pay more money to update the subscription on it. Whereas I could probably get the same deal again and just buy a whole nother one new with the dongle and active subscription. All right, so this is the majority of everything, but it's not complete. There's still a lot more to go in, and just, you know, things that I use with my phone and other stuff that aren't dedicated programmers that aren't out here at the moment. All right, these last two units here, they are both phone accessories. This is the Lonsdor K518. We use this with the Lonsdor app to generate LT20 universal Lonsdor keys, and basically it just generates the key. Now, if I'm on a Toyota smart key job that's all keys lost, I can hook this up to my phone and put this over the push to start button and click the button a couple of times, and it'll read the board number and the proper frequency for me to generate the universal key. Or I can put, if the customer has their key, I could put their key in here, read it, and it'll pull up the correct profile to generate a universal key. I do use that a lot. This is the Key DIY Mini KD1. Basically, it's for generating universal key DIY keys. I don't use it too often, and this one has connection issues where it would disconnect and reconnect. And every time it does that, it resets the app. So if you were in something, basically it's going to reset it and you're going to have to start over from the beginning. Don't really suggest it. I might upgrade to one of the other handheld KD units or key DIY units that are kind of similar to this, or just something a little bit more than just this cable. All right, so that's it. That's all I have for now. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share my videos, help me get more followers. The more followers I get, the more content I can make. So definitely, you know, try to engage. If you see my videos, try to engage with them. Just leave a comment. You could just leave what city you're in, leave a thank you, you know, leave an emoji or whatever. But I appreciate it, and I have a lot more content that I'm planning on, and I'm going to do some deep diving tutorials and whatnot. So just give me some time. It's just me by myself. I'm here doing everything. I'm doing it real crude on my cell phone, limited edited and whatnot. So as I get better, you know, better quality videos will be coming out, and we can get more in depth. So if there's anything you want to see me cover, definitely leave it in the comments below, and I'll try to work on getting some of that stuff done. All right, thanks for watching.